Going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are making and breaking ground on our 2020 32-team 7-round mock draft series. It is a lofty goal. It is a massive series. It is a massive undertaking to make a mock draft and make these videos for all 32 teams. But ask you guys in a poll what you want to see, and overwhelmingly want to see this for my draft content, so it's what I bring to you. Now, there's going to be a mix of Madden and a mix of slideshow for how I present these videos, because obviously, before we can jump into the mock draft, we kind of need to lay the land and assess and address what needs have been filled in free agency and what needs are still there for every single team. So at pick number 1, already on the clock, done been on the clock since like December, Zach Taylor and his Cincinnati Bengals are sitting here, and this video is recorded the 26th of March, so these have been the free agency moves, and this is where the Bengals roster stands as of right now. As you can see, you know, it's a skill position wealthy team. They got AJ Green on a tag, you got Mixon, Tyler Boyd, Auden Tate, John Ross, but clearly that quarterback spot is fluid. We're waiting essentially any day now. It feels like Andy Dalton is going to be traded, and I don't know, we really need to beat around the bush. We know what the pick is going to be at pick 1 in Joe Burrow, and he most likely will slot in here. On an offensive line, they added Xavier Su'a-Filo in free agency. They're going to have a healthy Jonah Williams, who I thought was a top 10 pick last season. If you can get Billy Price to kind of catch on to his first round billing, this is going to be an okay offensive line, but I definitely think they do need to go hard on offensive line here. They lost Tyler Eifert at tight end to the Jacksonville Jaguars, so second round pick Drew Sample. Hopefully he can take a big step in year 2. Defensively, they spent a lot of money. This is where they went defensively. The front 4 is good. Got some veterans in Dunlap and Atkins. They signed DJ Reader away from the Houston Texans in the secondary alongside William Jackson. They brought in the Viking duo of Trey Waynes and Mackenzie Alexander. I like both of those moves. They also landed Von Bell, who might have been the best safety on the market after Malcolm Jenkins re-signed as of a day ago. And then at the linebacking core, it's a young linebacking core. They brought over Josh Bynes, the veteran linebacker who spent some time with the Baltimore Ravens and the Arizona Cardinals. He's pretty good, grades out well from Pro Football Focus. But when you're looking at the defense, not nearly as many holes as they have on offense. Maybe they want to get a little bit younger on the defensive line. Maybe they want to improve this linebacking core just a little bit. But I think this is a team that's going to enter the 2020 draft with Zach Taylor, an offensive coach, to go all in and to try and fix this offense. So without further ado, let's get into the 7-round mock of the Cincinnati Bengals. So at pick number 1, first off the clock, first off the bus for the Cincinnati Bengals, it's easy. I don't want to try to prolong the inevitable. It's Joe Burrow, quarterback out of LSU, 6'4", 215, your 2019 Heisman winner, and putting up maybe one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen, if not the greatest season we've ever seen in a single season, winning the national championship with LSU, 5,600 passing yards to 60 touchdowns, 6 picks, 385 on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns, 65 total touchdowns. It is insanity for Joe Burrow. Yeah, he's quarterback 1 in the draft. He has elite anticipation. His ability to extend plays is great in 2019. Off the charts accuracy, like unheard of accuracy that we've ever seen in college football. Now, there is the slight buyer beware of a one-year wonder, but I think this is an absolute home run. And if you gave Zach Taylor the keys to this organization, bringing him in, understudy of McVay, to be the offensive mind, he's going to be able to take someone like Joe Burrow and make him a franchise quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they get a local boy, which should help get fans rallying around him and become an immediate superstar player from jersey sales alone. Then, you know, as soon as they make this selection at the draft, that's a foregone conclusion. Going to the second round at pick 33, I'm selecting Josh Jones, offensive tackle from Houston, 6'5", 310, 2019 Pro Football Focus All-American. He's a plus athlete at the offensive tackle position. I think he has high enough upside that he can maybe challenge and push Bobby Hart for the starting right tackle gig, but he is a guy that definitely needs to be coached up. But he has a background protecting quarterbacks who extend plays, as seen by the various mobile quarterbacks they've had at Houston, most recently in De'Ara King, which definitely plays to the strengths of Joe Burrow. Going to the third round, pick 65, I was selecting Malik Harrison, linebacker from Ohio State, 6'3", 245. He's a 2019 first-team Big Ten. He's a prototypical linebacker coming off his best year at Ohio State with 75 tackles and 16.5 TFLs. He's an excellent run stopper, and with his athletic profile of 4'6" at the combine, which was a little bit better than some people expected. Definitely has some upside to grow and develop his zone coverage ability. But when you look at the linebacking core for the Cincinnati Bengals, I definitely think they can add another body. But I think if you have Bynes on one side, you put Jermaine Pratt on the other, and then you stick someone like Malik Harrison in the middle, that's not that bad of a young linebacking core to build and grow around. Going to the 4th round at pick 107, I am selecting KAREEM, defensive end from Notre Dame. 6'4", 265 pounds. He is a very long, he put up outrageous arm numbers at the weigh-in days for the combine. He's well over 80-inch wingspan, which is ridiculous. He's a run-stuffing defensive end that will offer something on early downs for the Cincinnati Bengals. 21 tackles for loss over the last 2 seasons for Notre Dame. He complements the young edge rushers that are already on the Cincinnati Bengals, be it Sam Hubbard or Carl Lawson. Going to the 5th round, pick 147, I was selecting Gabriel Davis, wide receiver from Central Florida, 6'3", 215 pounds, a big outside target man who is UCF's #1 receiver for the last 2 years, over 150 receptions, 2,400 yards, and 23 touchdowns in his career with the Black Knights. He's young, he's only 20 years old when they get drafted, so that's always a little bit of something added value, maybe more so than a guy that's 23. That's maybe similar value because you can hope that they can grow and develop a little bit in that age difference. And he helped himself at his combine. Some people thought he only had straight up long speed. A 4.54 wasn't too shabby. And I think for a big guy like him, posting that time at the scouting combine definitely helped his tape. I think he'd come into the Cincinnati Bengals, compete for that wide receiver 4-5 spot, and he's good depth in case, another injury happens to John Ross and they start thinking maybe we need to move on from the 2017 first-round pick. And you look at A.J. Green, he's only on a 1-year deal. You look at the future of the position at the wide receiver spot for the Bengals. You got Tyler Boyd, Auden Tate. You could have still more weapons behind, especially with Joe Burrow. They're going to be probably running a little bit air raid influence. They're going to want to throw the ball a lot. And the more targets, the better. Going to the 6th round at pick 180, I was selecting Jacob BREELAND, tight end from Oregon, 6'5", 240 pounds. Zach Taylor likes 3 dressable tight ends. You had that previously when you had that with Eifert, Uzuma, and Drew Sample. Now that Eifert has gone on to the Jacksonville Jaguars, a perfect new 3rd tight end would be Jacob BREELAND. He was Justin Herbert's safety net at Oregon. He had 6 touchdowns in 6 games last year in 2019 before his season was cut short of injury. Solid athlete, good receiver, and doesn't offer much in the blocking game, but you know what you're getting. And I think that they're going to hope that Drew Sample can more so be that complete tight end. Azuma's more of a receiver, and BREELAND also would be more of a receiving type tight end. And then finishing up in the 7th round, pick 215. Here's a name not many people have heard of. HARPER, cornerback from Southern Illinois, 6'2", 190. If you know anything about RAS score, the RAS score, he put up a 9.99. He is an A-tier, 99 percentile type athlete. So at 6'2", 190, 4'4", a 40-inch vertical. He's an Oklahoma State transfer. He has immediate special teams ability. He had 2 interceptions and 12 pass breakups in 2019. This is where the elite, unknown, small school athletes that dominate their pro days start to go in the 7th round just because they're like the what-ifs. We saw it with Quentin Bell last year with the Oakland Raiders, Vegas Raiders, whatever you want to call them. I think HARPER is going to be a prime candidate for that. Now, we will kind of have to also say that with the coronavirus and all these personal workouts and pro days, all that stuff being shut down, I think it's going to be really tough this year for the small school guys, the guys that usually end up standing out from their pro days, to get drafted just because those things aren't available, which absolutely sucks. But I think someone like HARPER, who was able to get his pro day in, puts up 99th percentile athletic type numbers. I think he's going to latch onto a team, especially for a guy that can, late rounds, day 3, you're looking for guys that more so can tack on the roster because of their special teams ability. I think HARPER is a prime candidate. So there you go, guys. That will do it for the first episode. Team number 1 on the block, the Cincinnati Bengals, for our 32-team 7-round mock draft series on the channel. I hope you guys are feeling it. I hope you guys did enjoy it. As always, your first time stopping by, we still got 31 other teams to go, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. If you're a Cincinnati Bengal fan, let me know how you feel about these picks that we just went through. Do you agree or do you disagree with the picks that we made? Let me know in the comment section below. But that does it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, and until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.